Maria had always been diligent with her money. She worked hard and invested in a mutual fund, hoping that one day it would pay off and she could retire comfortably. But no matter how much she saved, she couldn't shake the nagging worry that it wouldn't be enough. What if the stock market crashed? What if she got sick and the bills piled up? One sleepless night, Maria stumbled upon a book that promised to alleviate her fears and show her a better way to secure her financial future. The book claimed that the traditional advice to save and invest for the long term was wrong, and that the key to financial freedom was to use a combination of assets to generate money fast, all while keeping it out of the hands of financial advisors and stock market sharks. Intrigued, Maria dived into the book and discovered that it was full of unconventional advice that flew in the face of everything she had ever been taught about retirement planning. The author argued that diversification was a myth and that gamblers actually had valuable lessons to teach us about investing. Maria was skeptical at first, but as she read on, she began to see the logic in the author's arguments. The book was not an easy read, and mastering the author's strategy would take serious dedication and skill. But as Maria read on, she couldn't help feeling a sense of excitement and possibility. Learning to generate lifelong cash flow was an investment that would truly pay off, and Maria was determined to do whatever it took to secure her financial future. As she closed the book, Maria felt a renewed sense of hope and possibility. She couldn't wait to start putting the author's unconventional advice into practice and see where it would take her. The future was uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, Maria felt like she was in control. Chapter 1. As a young girl, Sarah had always been told that money couldn't buy happiness. So when she landed her dream job as a teacher, she thought she could finally leave her money worries behind. But as the years passed, Sarah couldn't shake the constant fear of never having enough to retire on. She attended a talk on personal finance, hoping to find some answers, but was met with a common question: why does money matter if happiness is more important? The author's response was anything but dismissive. He painted a startling picture of the future, revealing that the #1 fear for Americans is running out of money in old age. Sarah felt a knot form in her stomach as she realized that she shared this fear. With 1 in 3 Americans over the age of 65 having no retirement plan at all, the harsh reality hit her like a ton of bricks. Sarah knew she couldn't afford to put off her money worries any longer. The author's analogy of life being divided into 4 quarters, just like a game of American football, rang true to her. She was currently in the 2nd quarter of her life and knew she needed to work towards financial independence before it was too late. But what was the best way to achieve this goal? The standard advice of saving and investing in mutual funds just wasn't cutting it for Sarah. She needed a faster, more reliable way to secure her financial future. In the following chapters, she discovered what she could do instead. Will Sarah find the answers she's been searching for? Only time will tell. Chapter 2. Emily had always been a cautious investor. She followed the advice of financial experts, invested in mutual funds, and patiently waited for her investments to grow. But at the age of 40, she realized that her investments weren't growing as fast as she had hoped. She still had a long way to go before she could retire, and she began to worry that she might never reach financial independence. That's when she stumbled upon an article about power investing. Emily had never considered investing in anything other than paper assets before, but the concept of synergy intrigued her. She decided to do some research and found that many wealthy investors had used a combination of assets to build their wealth. Emily started small. She bought a rental property and began to learn about real estate investing. She also invested in a small business, something she had always dreamed of doing. She was careful not to neglect her paper assets, but she realized that a diversified portfolio didn't have to be limited to stocks and mutual funds. Over the next few years, Emily watched her investments grow at a much faster rate than before. She was amazed at how her different assets were working together to create something more significant than the sum of their parts. Her real estate investments provided steady rental income, while her business generated profits that she could reinvest into both the business and her other assets. At the age of 50, Emily achieved financial independence. She had built a portfolio of assets that provided both cash flow and long-term growth. She didn't have to worry about running out of money in old age or working forever because she had to. Instead, she could enjoy her retirement and the fruits of her power investing strategy. Chapter 3. In the vast plains of the American West, there lived two farmers. One was a cattle rancher, and the other a dairy farmer. The cattle rancher, Kate, had built up her herd over the years with care and hard work. But when the time came to sell them off for a profit, she was left with only a small amount of cash in her hand. She knew she needed to find a better way to make a living. Meanwhile, the dairy farmer, Tom, had built up his own herd with just as much care and effort. But rather than sending his cows off to be slaughtered, he milked them daily and sold their milk. Over time, he had built a steady and reliable source of income that kept his farm running smoothly. One day, Kate was talking to Tom and saw how much money he was making from his dairy cows. She realized that she had been making a mistake all along. Rather than selling her cows off for a one-time profit, she should have been milking them for all they were worth. Kate decided to make a change. She started looking for ways to turn her cattle ranch into a dairy farm. She invested in the necessary equipment and learned all she could about milking cows. It was a steep learning curve, but Kate was determined to make it work. After a few months of hard work, Kate had transformed her cattle ranch into a dairy farm. She started selling milk and other dairy products and was amazed at how quickly her profits grew. No longer was she stuck with a one-time profit every few years. Now she had a reliable source of income that would continue to pay off for years to come. Kate realized that the same principle applied to other forms of investment as well. Rather than selling off a property or stock for a one-time gain, she could hold onto it and continue to reap the benefits. She had learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes, it's better to milk your cows than to sell them off for meat. Chapter 4. Mark was a man who loved to take risks. He had a taste for the thrill of gambling and often visited the casino to try his luck. One day, he found himself in Las Vegas, walking into the brightly lit casino, where the excitement was palpable. He decided to play some craps, and after buying in with $1, he began to play. To his amazement, Mark found that he was winning, and before long, his initial dollar had turned into $300. The crowd around him was cheering him on, and the rush he felt was indescribable. As he continued to play, he kept winning, and his winnings grew to $3,000. The little voice in his head told him to walk away and keep his winnings, but the thrill of winning was too strong. Mark decided to keep playing, putting more and more of his money on the table. In the end, he lost it all, and the feeling of regret was overwhelming. Mark learned a valuable lesson that day, one that he would never forget. He realized that just like in gambling, investing in the stock market can be risky. Many people leave their money on the table for too long, hoping for the stock price to keep going up. Mark's experience taught him to take his money off the table early, just like he should have in the casino. He started to invest in real estate, using financial leverage to buy properties with borrowed money. By doing this, he was using other people's money to make money for himself, which is a lot safer than investing his own money in the stock market. Mark's approach was to get his initial investment back as quickly as possible and then move on to new opportunities. By doing this, he was able to build up a portfolio of rental properties that provided him with a steady stream of income. He had learned the lesson the hard way, but in the end, it had paid off. Now he was able to enjoy the fruits of his labor and live the life he had always dreamed of. Chapter 5. The author always thought he was savvy with his money. He had a good job, a comfortable lifestyle, and even some savings in the bank. But one day, he met a man who would change his perspective on finances forever. This man was a mysterious figure in his community, known for his extreme wealth and success. He was a real-life millionaire, and the author was eager to learn everything he could from him. They struck up a conversation at a local coffee shop, and the millionaire started to share his secrets. The millionaire explained that the key to building wealth was not just about earning money, but also about managing it. He told the author about his own journey, and how he had started with nothing but had built his fortune by taking calculated risks and making smart investments. As the conversation continued, the millionaire revealed that he had a secret method for making even more money. He called it leveraging, and it involved borrowing money to invest in profitable opportunities. The author was skeptical at first, but the millionaire assured him that it was a proven strategy. He even offered to introduce the author to a banker who could help him secure a loan. The author was hesitant, but he decided to take the plunge and give it a try. At first, everything seemed to be going well. The author took out a loan and invested in a promising mutual fund. He watched as his money grew, and he started to feel invincible. But then, disaster struck. The market took a sudden downturn, and the mutual fund plummeted in value. The author was left with a massive debt to repay, and he had no idea how he was going to do it. He went back to the millionaire, hoping for some guidance, but the man was nowhere to be found. The author was left alone, with no money, no prospects, and a mountain of debt. In the end, the author realized that he had made a critical mistake. He had trusted a stranger with his money, without doing his due diligence. He had taken a massive risk, without fully understanding the potential consequences. But he also realized that he had learned a valuable lesson. He had learned that there are no shortcuts to building wealth. It takes hard work, dedication, and a lot of patience. And most importantly, it takes a deep understanding of how money works. Sarah had always dreamt of financial independence. She wanted to be able to travel the world and work on her own terms. But every time she tried to invest her money, she felt overwhelmed and unsure of where to start. One day, while reading a financial blog, Sarah stumbled upon a simple concept: combining different asset classes to create a constant flow of income. She was intrigued and wanted to know more. She began to research and found success stories of people who had implemented this strategy and achieved financial independence. Sarah was inspired and decided to give it a try. However, her friends and family were quick to tell her that it was impossible. They didn't believe it could work, and Sarah felt disheartened. But she didn't give up. She knew that success was possible if she was willing to work hard and persevere. She began to actively search for new investments and moved her money around to maximize her returns. However, Sarah soon realized that investing wasn't as easy as she thought. She had to be careful not to fall for traps set by the wealthy and to ensure that her money would still be there when she needed it. Despite the challenges, Sarah continued to work hard and invest in various asset classes, including real estate and a small business. Over time, her income grew, and she became financially independent. As she traveled the world, Sarah couldn't help but reflect on the people who told her it was impossible. She realized that the biggest barrier to financial success is often our own self-doubt and limiting beliefs. Sarah's journey taught her that with hard work, determination, and the right investment strategy, financial independence is possible for anyone. Summary: to avoid financial hardship during retirement, it's crucial to take charge of your finances now. Relying solely on mutual funds for the long term leaves your money vulnerable to market volatility and crashes. To truly build wealth, you need to diversify your portfolio across multiple asset classes and keep your investments moving. Surprisingly, the game of Monopoly can teach you the valuable lessons of financial independence. Holding on to assets that generate a steady stream of income is key to success in both the game and real life. So why not gather some friends and brush up on your Monopoly skills? It's not only a fun pastime but also a practical way to learn about financial management and secure your future. Now, the insights and knowledge I gained from reading Rich Dads Who Took My Money were phenomenal. I highly recommend it. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and if you found value in this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more great content. Trust me, you won't regret it.